Hey, Will King here, High Cotton Homes in Florence, Alabama. And today I'm at a lake job and I want to walk around the outside with you here and show you some of the exterior details that I'm proud of. You know, this is one of the better looking houses that we've done in a while. And I'm just super proud of the whole wall assembly and how it's all coming together as we get ready to close this thing out. So let's walk right here behind me and around the house and take a look at it. So to start with, we are on Wilson Lake here in Florence, and this is a nice little basement house overlooking the lake, of course. And it's a poured basement wall. So we have, I think they're 8-inch walls all the way around, poured in place. I'm sorry, 10-inch walls poured in place. And what you're seeing behind me is the actual steel siding from Edco that's actually being installed as we speak. But let's talk about what all we have going on out here. So we framed this house with just a 2x4 wall. It has 7/16 zip system on the outside, and that's pretty standard for us. That's our WRB and our air barrier. Something different we did on this house was actually exterior insulation. So I've used a lot of Rottwell in the past, but this is actually the first job that I've done with exterior insulation using their Comfort Board product. So this is Comfort Board 80. It's 1.5 inches thick, and that's giving this house an extra R6 value, which is a really big deal when you think about the total wall assembly and the total R value and efficiency of this house. We actually had to use bucks. We had to build bucks around our windows to pull that window out to make it flush with the insulation. And then we used a 1x4 rain screen over it. Now, typically all our rain screens are running vertical. This one's actually running horizontal, and we did that because this siding is board and batten and it has to be installed obviously in a vertical orientation. So at first I had hesitation about using a horizontal rain screen because you think it's going to block the water if it ever got behind that siding. But because the properties of Rottwell, it's actually very drainable itself. So if there is any water that gets through the siding and it gets back there in that rain screen, it's actually going to be able to drain through that Comfort Board and dry itself out. We did use treated 1x just for a belt and suspenders approach. So that's how our insulation's installed, our WRB is installed, our window bucks are installed. And now let's talk about what you're seeing today. So there is a brick skirt coming up. So we have a brick ledge on our poured walls, of course. And then we terminate flashing out on top of this row lock, and it actually gets taped to the zip system first before our insulation goes down. And then what you're seeing here is the Edco siding. Now this is steel siding. This is the first time I've used this on the job as well. It's pre-finished, of course, but it's a beautiful gray color. It's actually new to them this year. And it's a good complement to the Pella iron ore windows that we have. So these are double hung windows from Pella, which we use a lot of casements and fixed windows, but this particular job, they wanted a double hung window. And I'll have to say, it's kind of it's a good way to change things up. I actually really like the look of this, even though I'm typically a fan of the performance of a casement window. Being able to see that break between the sashes with the grid they picked out to go above it, it really looks good. You know, I'm always a big fan of breaking up textures. I think that's important when you talk about the exterior of a house. So in this case, we have brick that's been painted, of course, that also matches the siding. But then the board and batten's a good look, and this is actually a textured wood grain profile on the board and batten. But above it, they swapped over to a shake style up in the gables, which I think complements the board and batten really good and helps break this wall up. And up above us on the roof, which I can't see from down here, but we obviously have some good shots of the roof. It's actually a cedar shake looking roof, and that is a really awesome roof system. I mean, that's going to be here for a long time. And the way it's installed, there's no fasteners exposed. It looks just like cedar shake when you're out on the road looking at this house or from the water looking at it. And that's going to give the family the durability that they're really after when building this vacation home. You know, a lot of customers are always asking us about maintenance-free houses or low maintenance houses. I don't believe there's any such thing as maintenance-free, but I do agree low maintenance is important, especially on houses like this one where they're not going to live here full time. We like to talk about that with customers early and talk through all the options that can help them achieve that. And I think going with a nice pre-finished steel siding and steel roofing like we have here, it's very durable. The finish is going to last a really long time, and you're not going to have to repaint it like you would a normal, like say, fiber cement siding. In addition to that, you know, we also have our composite decking on the back side of this house that you've probably seen in another video of mine. But that's a nice waterproof deck. It's not going to have the problems that you would with a wood or even a concrete deck. So that's also a really good way to deliver to your clients a good maintenance-free house. So thanks for taking a quick tour with me around the outside of this house. I hope you enjoyed some of the details. I know I certainly have, and I can't wait to see this house get finished where we can share it with everybody. If you're not already following me on Instagram, please go do so. It's at Will King Builds. And just remember, iron sharpens iron, so keep grinding, keep watching these videos, and we'll see you right here on The Build Show.